I got hit on travelling down the desert road
Oh.
in the car. Yeah.
Oh. And how long ago?
Nearly 2 years. Sorry.
And how is it affecting you?
I've worked through most of it, but trouble sleeping, trouble with concentration, trouble motivation and like concentration compared to what I used to have.
Yeah.
And drive as well.
And personality must have changed, in my experience, working with people with...
Well, I struggled a lot with work and keeping up with everything.
Yeah, in my experience with head injury, usually it's not exactly depression, but you're not the same happy, bubbly, resilient self.
Yeah.
Yeah, cool. And what's your first name?
Tom.
Tom, right, let's see what we can do. Yeah, I lived in New Plymouth for a while and worked, there was a group of people there with head injuries that I had some access to in my capacity as a healer, and it was a real eye-opener for me, the extent to which head injuries affect us, real eye-opener. And then more recently, my partner, bless him, at the age of 46 decided to step into a kickboxing ring and got knocked out and lived with the consequences of that and seeing just how long it does take. It takes years. Okay. Now, just if you can give me some feedback with that sound, anything particular happen within the head?
I can sort of feel it through the right side and down the
Yeah,
neck.
that's cool. It's doing what it needs to. Now, this sound has got a much higher pitch within it than any of the sounds I've used tonight, and that's because it's working on the cerebellum. What they do with the sound is it moves through all the cells in an area and it makes the cells vibrate. The nearest thing I've got to explain it is if you had a tuning fork in the room and you dinged it, it would vibrate, make a sound. Another tuning fork in the room would then start vibrating at the same frequency and same pitch. And that's what happens within the body. As I'm doing this healing, the words that are coming to me are to say to you, to start getting curious about who you truly are. Yes, you have a physical body, but the consciousness that you are is vast, limitless. Think about your capacity to love. Doesn't it feel like it goes on forever? Also, your capacity to feel connection with a person can feel like it's limitless. Your capacity to grieve for loss, for loneliness, for sadness, for anger, they all feel without depth. And so, on a physical level, you do have a finite form, your body, but the spiritual being that you are is vast. And when you identify with the story of this lifetime, it will feel quite shallow, because even though this physical world is very, very beautiful, you'll feel like there's something you're missing. Some people go through life looking for the one. They think they're going to find a particular person and then they're going to feel complete. Others know they're looking for something, but they don't know what. What you're looking for is you. It's a deeper sense of you. It's who you truly are, beyond this name and beyond this form. And meditation can take us into that place of deep spiritual connection. And so can pain and disease that we do so much soul searching that we start asking ourselves the questions and going inwards on this journey to find out who we truly are. And again, I'm just going to get some feedback with that sound. Is that now going more up the spine?
I can feel it through like both sides now.
Both sides also. Cool. Clapping's a dispersal of energy. It's always a good sign when that happens. So all the hand gestures you see me doing, it's not me moving my hands, it's the surgeons. Even the sound they produce through me. This journey started for me at the age of 31. So at 29 I was a bank manager. I rang my dad to say, "Dad, I'm a bank manager." He cried, he was so proud. A bank manager in the family, they'd never had a bank manager in the family before. On the other end of the phone I cried. I didn't want to be a bank manager. But you see, I got my granddad's spirit with me then. You see, Granddad had dug holes for the electricity board. Being a bank manager was a big thing for my granddad, but of course it wasn't what I wanted. At the age of 31, I found Granddad within me, and when I started praying, which I'd not really prayed since I was a little kid, I used to pray every night as I went to sleep, but lost it a bit through teenage years and early adulthood. But when I started seeing dead people, I started praying. And as a result of those prayers, I got to meet two of my guides physically. They literally came to see me, to talk to me. The first told me why I was here. He said, "You're here as a healer and a teacher. Don't forget the ones that can't see. The ones that can't see will still feel the vibration." Now that made no sense whatsoever to me as a bank manager, but I had the presence of mind to write it down. The second guide, a week later, asked me if I accepted the responsibility for what I'd come here to do. That was many, many years ago, many years ago. And even now, the responsibility of what I'm here to do and what you are all here to do is unfolding. In simple terms, it's about doing in our hearts what we feel is for the best. And if we can do that each step of the journey by accessing our hearts and doing what feels right in our hearts, not in our heads. Our heads will tell you the oughts, the shoulds, the have-tos. Disregard that. Do what feels right in your heart at each step, and the path will get revealed to you. Now, if something is showing up in your life and you don't think it should be showing up, you're mistaken. Okay, whatever is showing up in your life is showing up because it's either the consequences of some previous deed of yours, so it's karma being cleared. It's showing you a belief that you don't really hold. Or you've manifested it in some way. So whatever is showing up in your life is perfect for what it is you need to learn or release or move on from. Now, most people are only too happy to accept responsibility for those things in their life that they like. Like if we get ourselves a new house or a new car, we're like, oh yes, well done. But then we get a large credit card bill and we're not so happy with that, yet we've spent the money. So as you journey through life, my advice is for you to love all of it. Love the things you love, and love the things you don't love. Whatever's showing up is only a temporary state of affairs. It's either the physical manifestation of how you used to be, or it's old karma, or it's old stuff that's being released. Yeah? Then focus on what you want instead, and the universe will become remarkably cooperative. Right, we're just going to check how you're feeling.
Good.
Pretty good?
Yeah.
He's looking clearer. Does it look clearer to you? Yeah? Time will tell you, be able to give us some feedback.
Thank you.